Hi, how's it going? So it's been a while, like it always is with these kinds of videos, and the main reason, I suppose, is that I don't really want to be a teacher. I don't want to tutor people. I don't want to share a list of exercises and tips, because I don't use those videos. I don't really know a lot of foundational theory. I don't know anatomy. So in some part it feels wrong for me to try and blag my way through it. But I have received quite a few messages and comments on social media saying that they used to enjoy these videos, or they still, they're still up. So I'm going to try and pick them back up again. Now, as you've probably noticed, I haven't got a script. I'm quite tangential in the way that I talk and think. So bear with me. I feel like a newborn baby with making videos as well. Like, I'm not used to doing commentary over things. But that's just excuses, isn't it? Anyway, let's try and do some drawing. Oh, before I begin, another bit of news. I managed to fall up the stairs. I didn't fall down them, thankfully. That probably would have been worse, but I managed to trip up on a step. And I actually bent this finger back, trying to stop myself from landing on my face. And it got caught on a step, and like I say, bent it back, which is why it's a bit swollen. Now, I can still draw, but it might not be the bestest of sketches. There is a little bit of pain, but it's not too bad. Like I say, it's fine to draw. So I'm not very good at picking up things and doing chores, which is fine. Right, so I haven't drawn anything today. It's relatively early in the morning for a Saturday. So what I typically do first thing in the morning, I might do some shapes. A little row of shapes. Just some cubes. And they never have to be perfect. I also sometimes do some straight lines. And this is just to wake my brain up. I'm not necessarily, training for the Olympics or anything. It's just something to wake myself up with. I sometimes do gesture sketch. I sometimes attempt to do some watercolour. It's just anything that makes me wake up that part of my creative mind, as it were. I'm also this year trying to use up as many of my art materials as I can, which is why I'm using this pen and might flip-flop between a few brush pens and things, because I've been carrying around loads of stuff since I was even at college, which didn't last very long. But yeah, like 15-20 years I've been holding on to some of this stuff, and I feel like it's time to get it used up. So I'll do a few things like that. Sometimes I'll just do some straight lines. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram or whatever, you've probably seen me do things like this. And I kind of feel like most people do this kind of thing. I have seen it. I don't really, like I say, I don't treat it like sport or anything. It's just, a way to, wake my mind up a bit, like I said. Right, and then typically I'll just do some faces. I mean, I'm always drawing faces. And sometimes I'll just draw things from reference. Sometimes, like I am today, I'll just make something up on the spot and see what I can remember from doing studies and things. Not so much that I'm trying to replicate something from a study, but, you know, just proportions and making it look semi-realistic, I suppose. Well, that's never really my aim either. Sometimes I'll just draw silly cartoon characters, or, you know, botanicals or whatever. But after doing a few faces, I'll notice if there's a few things that maybe I need to work on, that I'm not remembering to do quite right. Again, I don't stress about it. It's just part of learning, isn't it? I let my mistakes guide what I should be working on. So there's definitely a few things in this now that I'd sort of see and think, yeah, that could be a little bit better. But because I don't really do any pencil lines, construction lines, I think that's what people call them, you know, I don't stress about it too much, because it's always going to be a little bit imperfect, and that's what I like. I don't draw to prove something to anybody, you know. I'm just doing it for my own amusement sometimes, but within that own amusement is the opportunity to grow and to learn and to practice and to make mistakes and try and better them. So yeah, it's not necessarily about getting things perfect. It's all about play. It's all about hopefully becoming more articulate, and when it comes to doing scenes and storyboards for work, or, you know, like my own comic work, which is probably another subject for another video, because I'm pretty lazy with all of that. But what I'm getting at is it's all a means to get more articulate, more creative, and within that sometimes there is, you know, the chance to break rules, to develop a voice. But sometimes I want to try and do things in a more correct fashion, you know, as things are in reality. Sometimes I want to merge the two, like this, I suppose. You know, these aren't very realistic people, but some of the proportions are, and so yeah, hopefully, if this goes to plan, I'll try and do a video most weeks. I might even try and do some live streams, either on YouTube or wherever. The main problem with these videos is I don't have a camera outside of the phone that I'm using to record this. My laptop's quite old. It doesn't like doing video, which is why this will be unedited. Why the quality might not be so great. And it also takes forever to upload these things. And if I try and put it into my laptop, the video file, if I try and put that into my laptop, it just burns up. So this will just be directly from my phone. So, but if enough people like these kind of things, now I've started them back up again, I might invest in better equipment. And feel free to ask me questions. I'll try and do videos about them, but like I say, I'm not a teacher. I can't really teach you how to do what I'm doing. If for whatever reason, you want to try and replicate this, the way I do this is just by drawing a lot, and drawing from photos, drawing from imagination, or trying to. It's a lot of it isn't about getting things right. A lot of it is just exploring. A lot of it is just dropping the ego in the act, giving it a go. And I've been attempting to draw faces like this for 5 or 6 years, and I still don't think they're that great, But compared to how they were before that, they weren't as quote unquote accurate. But I've been drawing from imagination since I was a child. And I wasn't necessarily worried about things being accurate. And some days I just draw, these wild faces with all proportions in the wrong places, because that's what I'm feeling, that's what I'm wanting to do. Every day is different for me, in terms of what I'm interested in attempting, or how I'm feeling. Sometimes I just want to throw some ink on a page and run a stick around, or a flat piece of cardboard, or just make a mess. And that's what it is. I'm not chasing an ideal necessarily. I'm just amusing myself, expressing myself. And I suppose that might be why I want to pick these videos up, because the world's changing, it's... I don't want to get into long debates about AI or anything like that, but creativity is a huge outlet for me. It gives me focus and puts the world in perspective sometimes. It's relaxing, it's meditative. It makes me more observant, makes me think about things like shape and form, but also empathy, and it's and my own past, and how I can become hopefully a more rounded person. All these different things have come from drawing and being creative. And creativity is hugely vast, from dance to crafts to all sorts of things, and you've got to find your thing. And for me, that is this, but it's all about the process. It's never about the result necessarily. And part of the process is learning, and it is, chasing an ideal, but it's not the result. It's the result isn't the reason. It's all process. And for me, not that I've ever used AI or things like that, I'm just not interested in things, in the result. I'm interested in the doing of something. So like I say, I'm quite tangential, so, but what I'm trying to get at is, you know, that maybe through these videos I'll be able to rub off on you a little bit, and maybe you'll pick up. You don't have to be drawing, but, you know, because I think it's so important, and it's not really well taught in schools necessarily. I mean, I don't know, it's been a long time since I went, but I know when I was at school, like, I was never encouraged to take up a life in art, to be creative. Because it's more about the stats, it's more about your art, your maths and you know, academic subjects. But the thing with art is, it will improve your mental health. It will help you see the world a little bit differently, I think, from my experience. It's like a self-therapy. So that's the approach I'm going to take. Hopefully it's not too condescending or pandering or whatever. I hope not. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just want you to pick up something creative, something like drawing, and not worry about how it comes out, you know. But anyway, like I keep saying, all unscripted. I'm just, you know, throwing up on the microphone a load of weird thoughts. But yeah. So I think we'll leave it there. You can obviously see the kinds of things I start the day with, and it's not me saying that you should do the same, but just do whatever ignites your imagination, or, you know, gets you started. Starting's the hardest thing, and, you know, that's why I sometimes start with shapes or lines, because I don't have to think about that. And maybe you will at the start, but, you know, just get started. Just put pen or pencil to paper, you know, brush to canvas, whatever it is, you know, just get started. Anyway, I am rambling on. Thanks for watching if you did. If you made it this far, my God, you have quite the tolerance. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I'll hopefully see you again next week. Bye-bye.